And guys, we're here. This is our video section of the Jordan Brown Radio Show. You're watching us on youtube.com/Jordan Brown Radio 1. Also might be listening to us or seeing us on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Jordan Brown Radio. Danny Miami is here with us today for our video blog section. Danny Miami.
Hey everybody, how you doing
That's
today?
our producer of the show, dressed as fly as possible. Now here's a question. So today we talked about, this past week on the show, right? We talked about divorce. Mm-hmm. You come from a divorce home, I come from a divorce home. We talked about this. 4 members on our radio team. 4 of them, all from divorce homes.
Yes.
It's 4 out of 7. It's unbelievable. When I look at these stats, and as I say on the show that it's a choice, right? I talked about how really people take divorce, and it's usually from a selfish standpoint. All of us have our own stories from divorce, but it's usually someone not being able to compromise in some area, or somebody being ridiculous and not just being able to step up and change their ways, if you will. But do you think that for you and me coming from divorce homes, I'll let you answer the question, and I'll kind of go back to myself. I'm asking myself a question. What's the big deal? But for you, when you look at being married in a marriage, like later on in your life, right? And you look at marriage in your life, what do you feel? Do you see yourself like? Do you think I'm going to be affected by my parents' divorce? Like with your marriage, does it ever come across your mind like that?
Well, it has definitely affected my life.
Yeah.
You know, just outlook and perspective on everything. It's influenced me more than anything. And it's just pushed me to, I guess, an outlook on life of that I just want to work hard to make sure everything works out.
So that's exactly what I want to see. That's exactly what I'm trying to get to people. You're taking this perspective from what you went through and saying, I'm going to do the exact opposite of what my family's marriage, that happened. I take notes from that on exactly what not to do. And as a man, you see that and you say, that's funny. I'm not going to think that affects me in a negative way for me to sit down and mope about it. I'm going to say, it's game time.
It is.
And I'm going to work my butt off to provide and be better for my wife and make sure that my marriage is strong so I don't end up like that. That's exactly what we need for people to do. We're talking about responsibility. 2 weeks ago on the show, we talked about equal opportunities for everybody and how everyone has the same opportunity to become a millionaire. That whole mindset that you just talked about can be placed into that one too.
Exactly.
I mean, the past 3 weeks in our show, we've talked about Facebook and Twitter on how to take yourself seriously, right? And how it's time to step up and start being more professional on these sites, right? Then we talked about equal opportunity for everyone, for people to become millionaires if you want to, and don't be sad because if you're black, white, Cuban, Asian, and say, oh, I'm being held down because my parents don't come from money, forget about all that. You work your butt off and you can get it. This is America. And then this past week we talked about divorce and how people are slacking at it. Those 3 shows before preparing you for the 4th show, which is, I mean, it seems like really Twitter and Facebook are preparing me for marriage, and it's like, in a way it is. Because I'm talking about taking your life serious.
Exactly.
Being more serious about your life and going to the next level and providing that for every situation you have. Relationships. Relationships aren't something that should be taken lightly. Should be taken seriously. I don't know. We want to hear your guys' comments. Facebook.com/Jordan Brown Radio is a good place to just post them all up there. Want to hear exactly what you guys think. Next week on the show, you know, we've been going back and forth with the idea. Me and Danny Miami sit down with the marketing team and some of our members of our team, and we figure out what we're going to be talking about. But next week on the show, we're doing plastic surgery. That's what it's going to be.
Really?
And he's looking at me because this is something that we had not decided before we actually went on air right now. But yes, plastic surgery next week. And the idea that we're going to be talking about next week, and we want to hear your guys' thoughts before we actually go on the air. The idea that we're going to be focusing on is why people do it. Is it wrong if they do it? And for consideration of everything, we'll have some girls in here to ask them if they would ever do it. And when the thing is, when you think about plastic surgery, my mind automatically goes to the ridiculous side of it, right? The Pamela Andersons, just the skinny girls with humongous boobs, something along those lines. But we're actually talking about what if somebody's going just from like a wife that has a bunch of kids, and she's like, I really wish that I was either skinnier or that I had a little bit bigger boobs. And I always thought, why would they care? You're married with kids, but it's this like idea of they want to feel better about themselves. So we got to look into it. I don't have an opinion yet. I'm very interested in what everyone else says, and I'll come up with something in this next week to talk about on the show. But our next video series will be based on that as well. Dane Miami, I am Jordan Brown. This is the Jordan Brown Radio team. Go check us out on Facebook.com/Jordan Brown Radio, and you are watching us on YouTube.com/Jordan Brown Radio 1. We'll see you guys later.